making sure that nothing is causing pain or discomfort, as in joint pain, muscular discomfort. Entirely up to you if you want to stop, if you want to keep going. Usual props, so I'm just going to get bands or strap if I don't have a band, and then the ball if I've got one, or the pillow if I don't have a ball. I can even use a rolled up towel. If I'm seated, see if I can find a space at the front of the body. So as usual, I want to be able to breathe with the diaphragm. I want to be able to breathe it down into the belly. So if I'm slouching and compressing, the diaphragm doesn't have space to expand. So the breath has to come from up here, which is not a relaxed breath. So see if I can create as much space as possible to encourage the breath to drop down into the belly, to help me relax. If you're laying down, a lot easier, as I'm just going to let the mat support the weight of the body, relaxing the shoulders, and then see if I can focus on the breath. Feeling the belly raising as I inhale, and then falling as I exhale. I'm not trying to push the belly out. I'm just going to let the breath do it for me. And then usual scan over the body. So if I'm laying down, maybe comparing the pressure that I feel on the right and the left side of the body. Compare the position of the arms and the legs, position of the head. Is it centered? Is it slightly to the side? Am I turning it to the side? Am I leaning it to the side? I'm not changing anything. I'm just trying to be aware of where everything is and how I feel to begin with. If I'm seated exactly the same, taking advantage of the chair, of the seat underneath, see if I can notice the pressure under the seat bone. Is it the same pressure? Do I feel more pressure on one side than the other? Am I leaning? Am I twisting? Is my head in the middle? Am I slightly off to the side? Can I relax the shoulders a little bit more? And then as I feel that the body feels a little bit more relaxed, and the breath feels a little bit more relaxed, I'm just going to start focusing on the neck. I'm going to start going for a little rotation. So I'm going to turn to look around the right shoulder, come back to center, and then I'm going to turn to look around the left. Back to center, I'm going to go to the right. And then over to the left. So noticing the movement as I turn one way, might feel a bit stiffer. I might find that it catches a little bit. As I turn the other, it feels smoother, it feels easier. One side seems to be able to go further than the other side. I'm not forcing anything, just testing the movement from side to side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing the head back to the middle. I'm going to try and release some of the tension from the back of the neck. So I'm going to tuck the chin down to the chest. I can put one hand between, or one fist between the chin and the chest, and then resting the chin on top of the hand. With the other hand, I'm going to grab hold of the back of the head, and then I'm just going to gently pull it forward and down. So think of lengthening the back of the neck, but without compressing. I'm going to hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to ease the pressure, release the head back. I'm going to reverse the hands. I'm going to clench the other fist, the pocket between the chin and the chest. I'm going to rest the chin onto the hand, and then the other hand hooking around the back of the head. I'm going to try and pull it forward and down. So really lengthening into the back of the neck. Whether I'm seated or lying down, it doesn't matter as the arm is supporting the head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Returning the head back to the middle. I'm going to retest the rotation as before. So I'm going to turn it to look over one, and then turn it to look over the other side. So hopefully the movement feels a little bit easier, a little bit better. Again, I'm not forcing it. I'm just trying to see what I can do, how much I can do on both sides. 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back to the center. Then I'm going to use both hands, one hand, whatever it's easier. I'm going to reach behind the neck, and then starting from the base of the neck, I'm just going to massage it gently around the back of the neck. So staying on either side of the spine, so right and left. So I'm not pressing on the spine, I'm pressing on the side. And then as you kind of like climb your way up and down along the neck and towards the base of the skull, the base of the head, so you can give it a little rub along the edge of the skull too. So see if I can notice any point where it feels particularly stiff, particularly tight. I'm just going to stay there for a little bit longer. See if I can ease off some of the tension, some of the stiffness. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Releasing the neck, and then again I'm going to retest that rotation again. So turning to look around one side, then the other. Again, hopefully the movement feels a bit easier. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming back. And then last time I'm going to turn the head to look over the right shoulder. I'm going to drop the chin, or imagine the chin or the nose to be dropping into that right shoulder. So I'm going to tuck it in. With the right hand, I'm going to hook around the back of the head and then gently ease that leg towards the shoulder a little bit more. While with the left arm, I'm going to reach down the side, creating a little bit more tension. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to ease the tension, let go of the head. I'm going to lift the chin and then turn the head back to the center. Turn it to look over the left shoulder, tuck it in, tuck it down. Left arm around the back of the head, gently pulling down. The right arm reaching long down the side of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Easing the head back to the center, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then same as before, I'm just going to retest my rotation from side to side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back. So neck should be feeling a little bit looser. See if I can try and loosen out through the thoracic into the upper back. So I'm just going to grab a hold of my pillow or the ball if I've got the ball. And then I'm going to set it right into the center of the breastbone. So I'm just going to pop it in there. I'm going to rest the both hands on the ball. Now imagine it possible to shape the breastbone into the ball. It's not possible, it's a fixed bow, so it can't flex or extend. But what I want more than the breastbone is for my upper back to go into flexion and then to ease back up again. So think of the back of the rib cage rounding and releasing back. It's only a little movement. I'm not expecting anything too big, but what I want is to see if I can try and free the upper thoracic, the top of the spine as I'm moving forward and back. If you're lying down, as the head will have to lift off the floor, see if you can use one hand on the ball, one hand on the head. I'm just going to try and round, and then I'm going to ease my way back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. From flexion, I'm going to move into extension. So I'm just going to push the ball to the side, push the pillow to the side. I'm going to let the arms relax down the side. If you're lying down, imagine to be sending your chest up to the ceiling. So I'm going to try and create space at the back of the rib cage. And then I'm just going to ease back. So I'm going to try and extend and come back. Little pressure through the arms to see if I can really lift before going back. If I'm seated, think of the hands by the side of the hips. I'm going to draw the shoulders back. I'm going to push the chest and the breastbone forward, and then see if I can try and lift up as high as I can. Then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to try again. Extending my way up. And releasing back down. So as if somebody had their hand right between your shoulder blades and then was giving you a little push forward and encourage you to go up. And then I'm just going to release and come down again. 5, the shoulders are dropping. 4, 3, 2, last one. And releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a rock, releasing the shoulders, releasing through the thoracic. From flexion extension, I'm going to go into a little lateral flexion. So I'm just going to start to move in side to side. I'm going to keep the arm down by the side. I'm going to flex it to the right, easing my way back to the center, and then flex into the left. Think of your rib cage to be like one of those accordions instrument. So see if you can think of the ribs pulling away from each other as you flex away. So trying to stretch the intercostal muscles. So I'm opening up on one side, and then I'm going to close on the other. Then I'm going to come back and then do the opposite. I'm going to close on that side and then opening up on the other side. If I feel that I can, I might add the arms with a little reach to encourage a little bit more opening into the side. If you're lying down, again, you might want to support the head. So as I move from side to side, I'm just going to carry the head with me to follow. Come back, switch the arms, and then follow through to the other side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back. Using the head and the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. There's a little bit more movement in flexion. And then I'm just going to try with a little rotation. So if I'm lying down on the back, I'm going to stick the arms up in front of me. If I'm seated, I can have the arms at the front. I can cross them onto the chest. It doesn't matter. I'm going to start rotating to the right or to the left. So I'm going to roll over to one side, easing my way back to the center, and then rolling the other way. If you're lying down on the back, see if you can think of pulling onto the top arm. So if I go to the left with my left hand, I'm going to grab hold of my right wrist, and then I'm going to pull my right arm to the side. As I move to the right with my right hand, I'm going to grab hold of my left wrist and then pull the other way. And then I'm going to try again to the other side. So rolling from shoulder to shoulder. If I'm down on the back, if I'm seated, I'm going to use the space, the full space. So I'm going to see how far around I can turn to the right, back to the center, how far around I can look to the left, back to the center, and then to the other side again. So same as you did for the head earlier, for the neck earlier, noticing difference between right and left to turn. You might find that if I turn to the right, it's easier. If I turn to the left, it's easier. Notice if you follow with the head. So if I look around when I turn, I normally can turn a little bit further. So see if you can follow the movement with your eyes as well as with your body. So I want to look around, come back to the center, and then I want to look around the other way, and then come back to the center again. 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the upper back. Is a little bit more movement in rotation. Same as I did for the neck. I'm just going to try and release the rib cage to see if I can maybe get an easier movement or a better movement. So I'm just going to use the tip of the fingers, and then I'm going to start from the center of the rib cage, just below the breast line, and then I'm going to try and wriggle almost as if I was tickling myself. I'm just going to try and massage over the ribs from the front all the way around to the side. Think of moving the tissue. So think of the tissue, the softer tissue that kind of like moves over the bones, over the ribs. So there might be a point where it feels quite tender. If it feels tender, I'm just going to stay there for a little bit longer. See if I can release a little bit more. And then I'm just going to move on onto another area, onto a different area. Staying on the rib cage, staying on the ribs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then using the thumbs again, or again the tip of the fingers, I'm going to follow that pectoral line. So if you think of your pectoral muscle, it's underneath the breast tissue, and then it goes into the shoulder. So it's like almost like a teardrop that way. So I'm going to work around the edge of it at the bottom. So I'm going to start from the middle, and then I'm just going to kind of like, almost as if I was trying to dig along the edge of the muscle. So I'm going to go underneath, and then I'm going to come up slightly to the side, and then I'm going to go back the same way I came. And then same as I did before, if there is any point along the way that feels quite tender, I'm just going to stay there for a little bit longer. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. And the last one, I'm going to work right down the side of the rib cage. So the best way is to use the knuckles. I'm just going to grab hold of the side, or rest the hand on the side, and then think of playing the guitar. So I'm just going to strum it up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Then allowing the arms to relax, I'm going to bring them to the front again, or cross them onto the chest, and then I'm going to retest my rotation. Hopefully the rib cage feels a little bit more relaxed, so I can turn a little bit deeper or a little bit easier from side to side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, relaxing the arms, and then moving into the lower back. I'm going to see if I can this time focus on the lumbar spine, so mobilize the lumbar spine. I'm going to start off with a little pelvic tilt. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. I think of changing the curve on your lumbar, but keeping the curve on the thoracic. So I'm not trying to round everything. I'm just going to round the bottom of the spine. And then I'm going to try and round it the other way. So I'm going to go into a little flexion and into a little extension. So if I'm seated, I should be feeling myself rocking forward and back over the seat bones. This is a nice, easy massage into the lower back. If I'm lying down, I'm just going to use the mat to guide me. So I'm going to tilt the pelvis back. I'm going to flatten the lower back into the mat, and then forward and then back into neutral. So I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to lift it. So gentle rocking, making sure that the neck and the shoulders are keeping nice and relaxed. See if you can think of the effort, the tension coming from the front of the belly. Or see if you can focus on your pelvic floor. See if you can focus on the tension into the front passage. I'm going to draw everything in, everything up, and then I'm going to let go and relax. Everything in, everything up, and then I'm going to let go and relax. Just try not to squeeze your bum. See if I can keep the hips loose, the bum cheeks relaxed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, adjusting the hips From flexion extension, I'm going to go into rotation. So if you lying down, shuffling the feet and the knees nice and close together, allowing the arms to open out to the side. And then together, I'm going to roll the hips and the legs to one side, easing them back to the center, and then taking them the other way. If you're sitting on the chair, the movement is a bit limited, as restricted as you're seated on the chair, so the hips are kind of like fixed. So I'm just going to encourage a little bit more movement by adding the arms. So with the left hand, I'm going to reach to the right leg, and then pulling the leg across to the side, I'm going to turn away. Then easing back, and then I'm going to try the same thing the other way. So encouraging just a little stretch down the side of the hip, into the side of the leg. As you turn away, think of a screw that is coming out of the hole. So I'm trying to unscrew myself. So I want to grow taller, not shorter. So I'm going to try and lift and turn. Then I might let myself relax back to the center, and then I'm going to lift and turn the other way. So see if I can try and connect it through the core muscles through the center. See if I can use those muscles to pick me up, to allow me to sit a little bit taller, a little bit straighter, a little bit better. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Last time. And releasing back, or releasing the shoulders, relaxing the back. Just a little bit more movement. I'm going to try one more time. This time I'm going to go for a little lateral flexion. So same as I did for the upper back. But this time, instead of trying to take the shoulder down to the hip, I'm going to try and take the hip up to the shoulder. So coming up with a little hip hitch. So I'm going to try and hitch up on the right and release, up on the left and release. I can use the hands on the chair to help me from side to side, but see if you can be aware of a little tension lifting up from the side of the waist. So it's the side of the belly that's pulling and then letting go, pulling and letting go. So this time I should be able to feel myself almost like walking the seat bones up and down on the chair. If I'm lying down, the pelvis will be just gently rocking side to side. As I pull up on the right side is shortening, the left is lengthening. As I pull up on the left is shortening, the right is lengthening. So nice, easy side to side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, relaxing the hips, adjusting the pelvis, adjusting the lower back. It's a little bit more movement into the lower back too. I'm going to start coordinating the arms and the legs together. So I'm going to shuffle feet and knees nice and close. And then I'm going to raise both arms straight in front of me. I'm going to take a deep breath in. As I breathe out, I want to open my right arm and my left leg out to the side. Then I'm going to bring them back to the center. And then I want my left arm and my right leg to open to the side. And then back to center again. So opposite arm and leg, trying to reach to the side of the room, and then coming back to the center again. As usual, it doesn't matter how big the movement is. See if I can try and keep it relaxed. I can use my hand to guide the leg if the leg doesn't move that easily. And then I can do the same thing to the other side. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And releasing back, relaxing the hip, releasing the shoulder. I'm going to try a different direction. This time, imagine to be puppeting your legs. So I'm just going to focus on my right arm and right leg. So same side, left arm, left leg. So I'm going to pull the string with my right hand and then see if I can move my right leg. Then release, left, left, right, right, left, left. So as usual, it doesn't matter if the foot doesn't lift away from the ground, just to see if I can encourage the direction. So the front of the hip tensing to create that little pull. Same as I did for the lateral, for the side opening, for the knee drop, I can use the hands to help me. So I can just try to guide that leg a little bit more from side to side. And then maybe when I've got a little bit more connection, I might try to bring back the arm. Five. 4. 3. 2. Last one. And release it back. Giving the hips, giving the legs a little shake. And then I'm going to change the direction of the effort again. What I want is a little bit more connection into the back of the hip. So I'm just going to bring the feet just a little bit closer to the chair. Find a comfortable position that if my feet are too far forward, then it's impossible to think of putting weight into the legs. So I'm just going to try and bring the legs in a little bit more. And then from there, I'm going to shift the weight forward into the legs and then pushing hard into the feet to think of the seat bones are just peeling away from the chair. And then I'm just going to drop back into it. And then again, I'm going to come forward and then think of the seat bones just peeling away from the chair and then coming back. So as if I was going to stand up. And then progressively see if you can maybe just move the hands to the front. See if I can maybe try without my hands helping, just to play with a different position. If you're lying down, still working into the back of the leg, back of the hips, pushing down into the soles of the feet, driving the hips up into bridge, and then I'm going to control my way down. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, relaxing the hips, releasing the legs, relaxing the arms if the arms were helping too. It's a little bit more connection into the back of the leg as well. I'm going to see if I can focus on the arms. This time, see if I can create a little bit more opening across the front of the chest. So if you're lying down, I'm going to stick the arms out to the side, nice and wide. I'm going to bend the elbows, and then keeping the elbows at 90-degree angle. Imagine a little flag. So the wind blows, my arms, forearms, kind of like roll backwards. The wind blows, my arms, my forearms come forward. So I'm going to go forward and back, forward and back. If I'm seated, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to do it from a down weighted position. So I'm going to tap the elbows into the side of the body. Imagine 2 little shelves down the side. I'm going to press the elbows into the shelves, and then I'm just going to rotate out and then rotate in. See if you can prevent the elbows from slipping off the shelf at the back, from slipping off the shelf onto the side. So see if I can keep it right onto the shelf and just pivot around. So see if I can create that little internal, external rotation. So working into the shoulder joint, making sure that I'm not forcing so there is no pain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Relaxing the shoulders, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, and then staying with the shoulder, I'm going to open up the range of movement. One arm at a time, I'm going to lift it up to the front, take it up, take it back as far as I can, then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Whether you're laying down, whether you're sitting up, especially if you're sitting up, as the arm feels heavier to move, see if you can be aware. I want the arm to lift, but I want my chest to stay lifted. I don't want my chest to suddenly cave in. So I'm not lifting using my neck. I'm trying to relax and then lifting using my shoulder, using my back. And then releasing, and then same thing to the other side. So it could be a small lift, it could be a big lift. It doesn't matter. It could be big on one side and small on the other. It's whatever works for your right, whatever works for the left shoulder. See if I can keep the rib cage calm. See if I can keep the rib cage soft, and making sure that the rib cage doesn't start bouncing up and down. 4, 3, 2. On the next one, I'm going to take the arm back. I'm going to hold it there. Now imagine somebody behind you or above you that is pulling your arm back as far as you can. So think of your shoulder coming up to touch your head, to touch your ear, reaching into the back wall if I'm laying down, or trying to touch the ceiling if I'm sitting up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Same thing to the other side. So I'm going to try and reach up. I'm going to lift the shoulder up to the head. See if I can touch the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. So giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Now try with both arms at the same time. So I'm going to reach the arms and then see if I can touch the ceiling with both. Holding it long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back. You're giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, relaxing the shoulders, so releasing the upper back, shuffling the feet and the knees are nice and close together, keeping the feet close together. I'm going to let the knees open out to the side. With the hands, I'm going to press gently on the inside of the legs to see if I can get the legs to open up a little bit more. And then especially if you're seated, as obviously again, because my seat bends up on the chair, I can't really move it very well, the chair gets in the way. So if you can almost like help with the hands, almost as if I was trying to massage, so encouraging a little bit more length, encouraging these muscles to kind of like soften instead of stiffening and gripping tighter. So see if I can try and relax them as much as I can. So running the thumb along the inside of the leg, massaging with the back of the hand, with the palm of the hand, whichever it's easier. Just to think of lengthening as if it was like a rubber band that I was trying to pull a little bit longer each time without forcing. If I'm laying down, I'm just going to take advantage of gravity, and then I'm just going to let gravity do the work. So I'm just going to let myself relax. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then easing the legs back to the middle. I'm going to bring the knees and the feet nice and close together. And then taking the legs to the right. I'm going to turn to look over my left shoulder. And then here I'm just going to let myself relax. Each exhale, think of the legs as sinking a little bit further around to the right. If I'm seated, again, I can't use gravity, so I'll have to use my arms. So same as we practice in rotation, I'm just going to move the legs to the side. I'm going to turn as far around as I can. And this time I'm just going to hold that position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Release, swapping sides, legs go the other way, turning the head wide. If I'm seated, using the arm to pull the leg across a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back. Returning the legs back to the middle. When you're ready, if you're lying down, rolling over onto your side, pushing yourself up into sitting. Finding your comfortable seated position, finding the seat bends to see if you can sit yourself nice and upright, supporting from the back and leaning against the wall or a sofa if you need to do so. And then same as we did at the beginning, finding the space at the front of the body. I'm going to take a deep breath in and then see if I can lengthen the front of the body. So sending the chest forward, rolling the shoulders back. I'm going to look forward. I'm going to look up. I'm going to look back. And then I'm going to release the coming forward, letting the chin drop, the shoulders come forward, round in the back, dropping. And then again, lifting up, extending through as high as I can, as much space as I can. And then I'm going to release and come forward. One last time. Extending up as high as I can, as much space as possible, looking up, looking back. And releasing forward. One hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take your bow. Give yourself a clap on that. Any question or anything as usual, please say.